Let's try to build the world's quietest keyboard. Alright, the first thing we need to do is find the quietest keyboard switches I can get my hands on, which are actually these. So these are called the Bobo U4 silent switches from Gazoo, and they are by far the quietest switches I've ever heard, but just to be safe, I'm also going to take apart and meticulously lube every single one of them, just to make sure they're as quiet as possible. For the keyboard, we're going to need one that's all metal to keep the sound dampened. It also has to be gasket mounted to act as a cushion when we type, and then I'm going to throw in as much dampening foam and gaskets as I can fit inside of it. Alright, the first thing we need to do is take apart the entire keyboard and remove every keycap and switch so that I can add the extra gaskets and foam inside. Then I have to take apart every one of my switches so that I can lube the inside of them. The last step is just sticking my freshly lubed switches in the keyboard, and we have now created supposedly the world's quietest keyboard. So this is what my normal keyboard sounds like. And then this is the world's quietest keyboard.
Here's everything I did to make this high ground keyboard sound creamy. First, I took off all the keycaps, switches, and stabilizers. Then I unscrewed everything and took apart the plate and PCB. I decided not to use the silicone layer it originally comes with, and instead I replaced it with a layer of PE foam. I cut it to size and made sure to leave cutouts for the stabilizers, but this mod is basically going to make the keyboard sound creamier without being too muted. Once that was done, I put in a few switches to hold everything in place, and then I tape modded the back with 2 layers of painter's tape. I also made sure to poke holes in the tape for when I screw it back into the case. Before putting the rest of the switches and keycaps back on, I took apart the stabilizers, then I dipped the wires in some dielectric grease to get rid of any rattle. Since the switches the board comes with are pre-lubed and sound pretty good stock, I decided not to lube them myself and leave them as is. So with all the mods complete, I reassembled everything, and the board is now finished. It only took about 20 minutes to mod this entire thing, so let me know if you think it was worth it.
It's no secret that I really like ASMR, so I gifted myself the Logitech Pop Keys keyboard because I really like satisfying noises, and especially when I'm working, it really gets me into a zen mode. These keyboards come with Logitech brown switches, which means that you'll have a really good tactile feedback. Before this, I was using the Logitech K380, which I had to change out the batteries every 7 to 8 months, but this I wouldn't have to change the batteries for around 3 years. And this keyboard also has emoji keys on them, so you can actually set it up with the app, and you have other emoji keys that you can personalize and use. With this keyboard, you can connect up to 3 devices, so whatever it is, you can just switch over by using the function keys, and you can just switch over. Not only that, if your device doesn't have Bluetooth, you have a USB receiver as well. The reason why I got this keyboard is aesthetically, I really like how it looks on my workspace. It's really robust. It has great functionalities and everything that I expect out of a keyboard. And that's it for today's video. Bye!
भी मैजिक करना चाहते हो, जैसे मैं बताता हूँ वैसे करो। तो पहले लाइक करो, फिर लाइक करने के बाद सब्सक्राइब करो, सब्सक्राइब करने के बाद रिमिक्स को दबाओ, रिमिक्स को दबा के यूज दिस साउंड को दबा के रखना है 2-3 मिनट, आपका वैसा मैजिक हो जाएगा।